Uh-oh. Hi guys, we are live. Welcome to a daily live stream. I'm Kristin. This is Traveling with Kristin, and this is my daily location independent lifestyle live stream. Welcome. It's 11 p.m. on Sunday, and I've been working for 12, how long has it been? 13 hours. So slightly delirious, but we do a live stream every day over here. So it's happening no matter what, because 100% is easier than 99%. And it's so true. I recommend if you want to do something, don't give yourself any leeway. Just do it 100%. Then you don't have to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to do it. You're just doing it. There's no discussion. There's no mental chatter, and there's no debate happening. So, wow. Oh, yeah, I'm really tired. Sorry about this, guys. Hi, everyone who's hanging out today. I'm having a bad hair day. But today, we're just going to do a quick live stream. I'm at my friend's house because I haven't even had time to move into my new apartment yet. I was supposed to move 2 days ago, maybe tomorrow. It hasn't been a priority yet. But anyway, my friend who is a digital nomad computer programmer, he has lots of cool books around his house. And I've been reading this book, Tools of Titans, every day. And if you've watched the 4-Hour Work Week, or read the 4-Hour Work Week, 2007, but being back with Mr. Tim Ferriss reminds me of why he's so popular, because he's just got it going on. He just really knows how to get points across. I think he's a good writer, and he is just like OCD in a good way. I mean, the man made this book of all of this amazing advice. Like, he's just such an overachiever. Anyway, we'll talk about Tim Ferriss another day. But what I wanted to bring up, because this book, if you haven't read it yet, it's Tools of Titans. It's called The Tactics, Routines, and Habits of Billionaires, Icons, and World-Class Performers. And you can just open this book to any page, which I have marked with various WeWork postcards. I have like 5 pages marked right now. But it's a collection of like 1 to 4 page kind of mini articles with top advice from top performers. And then sprinkled within there are these little essays that Tim writes on all sorts of things like travel and freedom and the real world MBA. And it's broken into 3 sections: health, wealth, and wisdom. So I've heard about this book for a long time, but I never bought it. But now that I've started reading it, I might just buy it and like have it on an ebook or Kindle and just bring it with me, because you can just open it to any page. And instead of scrolling Instagram for 5 minutes, you can just read 3 pages of this book and call it a day. So I wanted to highlight one of the topics here that I put in the title on the 80,000 working hours, the 80,000 hours that each of us spend working in our lives, which is a lot of time. And I wanted to talk about that because I did a live stream a week or so ago about how much time you can save by working remotely and not having to commute to a bullshit job. And this guy, Will MacAskill, is a badass. He's 29 years old and probably the youngest tenured professor of philosophy in the world. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's the guy who gives away all of his salary over $36,000 a year, because there's conflicting research opinions, I guess, but there's science that says over, I think, $70,000 a year, $80,000 a year, your utility of more money goes down. The more money you have, you don't get like the same marginal benefit. And so I guess in his case, he's decided, or he has research showing that anything over $36,000 a year doesn't enhance your quality of life or your happiness much more than it would if you had like $300,000 a year or whatever. So even though he makes a lot of money, he gives all of his money away. So I'm saying that because we should listen to his advice because he's really a special person, I think. Um, and there are a couple things in these 2 pages that they really resonate with me. One is follow your passion is terrible advice, which I agree with because I believe Cal Newport talks about this a lot in his work and his books, that just being passionate about your job isn't enough. Like, it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, you can get more satisfaction over being good at something and making a living at it. And I don't know if I'm butchering that, but that's basically the essence of it. And what Will is saying here is that people misconstrue satisfying careers and satisfying jobs. But the biggest predictor of job satisfaction is mentally engaging work, which is a parallel to what Cal Newport writes about as well. So whenever I'm helping people with their digital nomad jobs, your skill set and your abilities are a factor, but they're more of a factor than your passion is, because while you should not hate your job, like there's a limit to like how much you should not dislike it, but you shouldn't just quit one job to follow your passion, because that's not necessarily going to work out the right way. So, but anyway, that's an aside to what I really wanted to talk about, which was to emphasize that you have 80,000 working hours in the course of your life, and that it's really important that you know how to spend them, even if you're not spending them in, even if you're not in a job that you're in love with, that you still are going to be working approximately that many hours. And so basically what they are saying here is to just be more intentional with how you're going to spend those hours. So they give the example of like when you're in college, for example, and you might be thinking about how to do your homework well or how to do your coursework well, but you're not really thinking about what are your optimal goals in life and how to optimize them. And we talk about that a lot on my channel, like with goal setting and how you're spending your time and if you're being intentional with your life. And so the analogy that they use here is if you're going out to dinner, it's going to take you a couple hours to go out and eat dinner. You're going to spend a few minutes deciding where you're going to go eat dinner. Now, maybe if you're in a relationship, who's ever spent more than 5 minutes deciding where to eat? Me. Anyway, but if you did that with your career, you would spend 4,000 hours or 2 working years out of 80,000 hours thinking about how you're going to spend that time at your job. And he says, I think that's a pretty legitimate thing to do, spending that length of time trying to work out how you should be spending the rest of your life. And I thought this was appropriate for today for you guys to think about, because Sunday is a really good day to reflect on your week and think about what you want to do the upcoming week, and try to find some, like, intentionally try to find some time where you're going to do something that you enjoy doing, or working on a side project, or just relaxing. Like maybe you want to schedule in a Netflix binge, or maybe you want to schedule in a workout or a massage or time with friends or learning something or practicing a skill or whatever that is. And I just did that. And then I happened to open my book up, because I always do that on Sunday. I do like a reflection of the week. And then I opened this book to that page and I thought, it's a sign. It's a synchronicity. I should talk about it on the live stream today. So what I do, and I'll show you guys this journal that I've only been using for a month and I'm pretty addicted to it. It's called the Full Focus Planner by some guy named Michael Hyatt. And there is, maybe it's a little much, there's 4 pages weekly preview. So every Sunday you list your, you guys can just do this. You don't have to buy the planner. You can just do it on like a napkin if you want. You list your 3 to 5 major accomplishments from the past week. And then you refer to, like, each week you set 3 like intentional 3 main things that have to get done that week, 3 main goals. And then you review them on Sunday and you say, like, how far did you get with your goals? And it's pretty funny because apparently the people who bought this book and the feedback, or this journal, they were mad that it was only like, did you complete your task, yes or no? So now it has 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100%, because people want to still check off that they did something, even if they only got 25% to their goal. And I have to say, I really like it, because this week I checked off one thing 100%, one thing 50%, and one thing 0%. So, you know, shit happens sometimes. So it also asks, like, what worked, what didn't, and what will you keep doing, stop doing, start doing, or improve on based on what happened the last week. And then it has another spot where you can just do like a list sweep, where you go through the stuff from the past week and you see all the stuff you didn't have time to do, or you didn't feel like doing, or you procrastinated on, and then you can add it to the next thing. And it's just a way you can tell everything that keeps showing up that you're like avoiding doing. So it kind of relates to this, like, you can spend your time in, very related to this book. Where is it? I think I circled it. Where is it? There's a quote on every single page. Oh, here it is. Everybody ends up somewhere in life. A few people end up somewhere on purpose. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of inspiration for the upcoming week. Even if you're tired like me today, I didn't have a relaxing Sunday at all. I had a really exhausting Sunday, actually, but we can still be intentional with our time, so that even if we're spending 80,000 hours of our lives working, we are doing the right things at work to bring some type of satisfaction or fulfillment to our lives, or a sense of accomplishment to our lives. And we can be intentional with how we spend our free time as well. And just that's kind of been my motto this entire first 5 weeks of the year, of whatever I'm doing, to just be really focused on that one thing and not worry about everything else. So, is anyone in chat today? No one's in chat. Is this making sense? Uh-oh. Someone's calling me. I think it's my sister. So guys, I'm going to go since it's past my bedtime, but let me know in the comments, does this resonate with you? Do you have any sort of Sunday routine? Do you do any reflection on the week or planning for the upcoming week? You know, a lot of times we're thinking about what we're going to do, but we don't look at how we did and what we did do during the week. So celebrating small wins and being honest with ourselves about things that we can improve on. This is all, you know, it's part of just being a human and trying a little bit more every single day. So hope you guys have a great Sunday and see you tomorrow. Hopefully I actually move to my new apartment tomorrow, but time will tell. Bye guys.